Hey guys, today we're going to be talking about 5-1, which is a very important chapter for this year because chapter 5 is something we're going to be using the entire year from here on out. But 5-1 is on slope. So slope is a number determined by any 2 points of a line. The number described by how steep a line is. The greater the value, the steeper the line. So that means if the number is really big, it's going to be a very steep line. If our number is a fraction, so it's smaller, it's going to be a very flat line. Okay? So rise over run, that is what we know slope as. Okay. The formula we're going to use today is right here. y2 minus y1, x2 minus x1. All that means when they have y2 means that's your second y value. x2 just means that's your second x value. Okay, so we're going to go our second y minus our first y, and then our second x minus our first x. And that's going to be how we're going to find slope today. And we are going to leave it as a fraction. Okay, so if you look right here, they're going to give you two coordinates. What you do here is this, see how we have an x and a y and an x and a y? This is our first set of coordinates. This is our second set of coordinates. So this right here would be our x2 and our y2. This would be our x1 and our y1. So we're just going to go our y2, our second y value, minus our first y value, over our second x value, minus our first x value. And then we're going to do this. So 4 minus 2 is 2. That's going to end up being a plus. So 3 plus 1 is 4. So our slope here is 1/2. So there you go. And that is how you find slope. It's that easy. Okay, so let's try another one. We're going to take our second x value, 1, minus our first x value, -2. Or sorry, our second y value minus our first y value. So second y minus our first y. And then our second x minus our first x. Okay, so you change those to pluses, and you get 1 plus 2, which is 3. -4 plus 1, which is -3. So my answer is -1. Okay. Let's try one more. Find the slope of a line. So we're going to take our y value minus our y value. So 2 minus 2 over -1 minus 1. That's going to give me 0 over -2, which is the same thing as 0. I can have 0 on the bottom. I cannot have 0 on the top. I can have 0 on the top. I cannot have 0 on the bottom. I cannot have a 0 on the bottom because that would be undefined. And we will see that in the next example. Okay, so our next example would be right here. So we're going to take our second y value, so 3, minus our first y value, so minus -2, over 1 minus 1. 3 minus -2 is going to give me a plus, so that's going to be a 5. 1 minus 1 is 0. Now, this right here is what we cannot have. We cannot have a 0 on the bottom. So if you see that, right away your slope is undefined. Okay? So we'll do about 3 more. So we're going to go our second y minus our first y, our second x minus our first x. 3 minus 2. I can't simplify that, so I'm going to leave that as 3 minus 2. I'm not going to mess with that at all. I want you to leave them as improper fractions. I don't want you to put that as 1 and 1/2. I do not want that as 1.5. Okay, I don't want either of those. I want you to leave that as an improper fraction. Okay, so let's try another one. 4 minus 0 over 6 minus 0. Gives me 4 over 6, which we can simplify down to 2/3. Okay, next one, we're going to go 3 minus 7 over 9 minus 2, which is going to give us negative 4 over 7. And then I have to leave it like that, and that's going to be my answer. Okay, now the one thing we're going to talk about now is the bottom part of what our worksheet's going to look like, and that's going to be like if they don't give you a value. So we're going to have to work backwards like this. So what we're going to do is we're going to use the formula y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1, and that's going to equal m. So what we're going to do here is we're going to plug some stuff in. So my y2 is negative 3 minus 6 over 10 minus r. Now, it does also give you another piece of information. My slope. Slope is m. Okay, so that is slope. Okay, and my slope is negative 3 over 2. So now what we're going to do here is we're going to do cross products. Okay, remember when we multiply diagonally? So we're going to go, this is going to take some work, 10 minus r times negative 3 equals 2 times negative 3 minus 6. See how I put this part right here in parentheses and this part in parentheses and these on the outside? Because now we're going to distribute negative 30 plus 3r equals negative 6 minus 12. So then we're going to drop our 8. We're going to simplify this. So negative 30 plus 3r equals negative 18. And now we can drop our anchor and solve. So we're going to add 30 to both sides. So 3r equals 12. So r equals 4. And then that would be our answer. Now, I know it's a lot of work, so we're going to do a couple more examples. Okay, so let's try another one. Negative 6 minus negative 2 over r minus 6 equals. Now, every time I see a whole number with slope, I want you to write it as a improper fraction. So this would be 4 over 1. If this was a 2, you'd put 2 over 1. If you ever have a whole number, I want that whole number to be over 1. Okay? So now we're going to do cross products. And we're doing that so we can have 4 times r minus 6. Notice how I always put the r on the right side. Doesn't matter where it's at, I always put it there. And then 1 times negative 6 plus 2. So 4r minus 24 equals negative 6 plus 2, which is going to give me negative 4. Add 24 to both sides after I drop my anchor. So 4r equals 20. So r equals 5. Okay, we're going to try one more. So start off, write our equation. 3 minus r over 6 minus 9 equals negative 1 over 3. Cross products. Okay, 3 times 3 minus r equals negative 1 times 6 minus 9. So 3 times 3 is 9 minus 3r equals negative 6 plus 9, which is going to be 3. Now we can drop our anchor and solve. So we subtract 9 to get rid of it. So negative 3r equals negative 6. So r is going to equal 2. Okay. And that is that. So hopefully that's making sense, guys. Hopefully understand 5-1. Have a good day.